You guys, I cannot get over these incredible colors. Look at the leaves changing. This is stunning. We don't get this in Florida. I'm up in Michigan, I'm visiting family. It's fall, it's getting colder, everyone's wearing sweaters. It's just beautiful up here. Again, beautiful leaves changing colors. And next week is Halloween. So today I have for you an episode all about Halloween candy and wine pairings. Hi friends, my name is Sarah. I'm a certified sommelier and host of the Wine CEO podcast show. And today's episode is actually a bit of a remix from an episode that I did about 2 years ago on the show. It was highlighting all of the favorite candies from Halloween and great wine pairings to go with them. And it was such a popular episode that I'm bringing it back to you all today so that you can get to revisit these amazing pairings just in time for Halloween. So let's dive into this remix of the Wine CEO podcast episode all about Halloween candy and wine pairings. So this week on the podcast show, we are chatting all about pairing wine with your favorite Halloween candies. But before we jump into today's episode, I want to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's show, Wash and Wick. Wash and Wick is a candle and soap company located here in Orlando, Florida. And what I love about Wash and Wick is that they are hand-poured soy candles made with quality essential oils and fragrances. One of their co-founders is actually a certified sommelier, and she blends all of the candle scents with her super trained senses. And obviously she had to make some wine-scented candles, and you guys, they are so good, like authentic to the proper aromas. I was really, really impressed. And where else are you going to find a sommelier who's behind a wine-scented candle, right? So Wash and Wick is offering 20% off for all of our podcast subscribers. Head over to their website, washandwick.com. That's WASHANDWIK.com and enter the promo code TheWineCEO. No spaces, just THEWINECEO for 20% off your purchase today. Candies are a big category, right? There's literally thousands all over the world, and there are candies that are unique to specific countries and specific regions around the world. So what I did today is I picked a few categories of candies and gave some examples within each category, and then gave you wine pairings. So hopefully this will help you find the right wine pairing for your favorite candy by the description of the type of candy, even if I don't list your specific favorite candy by name. But as always, if you're looking to do a specific pairing and you want a recommendation, please feel free to send me an email, sarah@thewineceo.com. My first name is SARAH, or you can send me a message on Instagram @thewineceo or Facebook @SarahTheWineCEO, and I would love to give you some recommendations. So first, let's chat about a classic Halloween candy that everyone has a jar of this time of year, even if they don't like it. And that's candy corn. Honestly, I'm not actually a big fan of candy corn, and you can think I'm totally crazy. I know it's like not okay this time of year, but I'm more of a chocolate gal, and I'm okay with candy corn, but I'm not really gonna reach for it. It's just not my first choice. But nonetheless, this classic Halloween candy has been around, believe it or not, since the late 1880s. I was shocked. I had no idea it was that old. And it even has its own holiday. The day before Halloween, October 30th, is officially Candy Corn Day. And candy corn has this really creamy, sugary, buttery flavor. So the perfect pairing for this candy is Chardonnay, specifically Chardonnays that have had some oak influence. So for example, a buttery California Chardonnay or even one from Burgundy, France are going to be a perfect combo with candy corn because these creamy flavors will just really pair together nicely. Now, in a somewhat similar style of flavor, caramels tend to also have a really buttery, creamy, and sugary flavor. So Chardonnay could definitely work with caramels. You know, again, caramels buttery, Chardonnay's buttery, they're both kind of creamy. And the unique thing about Chardonnay is that they often have these notes of apples. And we all know that apples pair well with caramel, right? Everybody loves a good caramel apple. But, personally, I love to pair caramels with something a little less known, Madeira. Madeira is delicious. If you've never had it, you have to try it. It's a fortified dessert wine from Portugal, specifically from the Portuguese island of Madeira, and it can be made with a variety of different grapes that are grown on the island of Madeira. And although the styles can vary slightly, they almost all have delicious notes of toasted nuts and caramel. So they pair absolutely perfectly with caramel candies. So whether that's a chewy or hard caramel candy, absolutely amazing. So if you're a Werther's or Brock's or Sugar Babies fan, try them with some Madeira. I promise you will not regret it. And then staying with these kind of light, sugary, and buttery candies, let's chat about marshmallows. I bought some adorable Frankenstein peeps for my nephews this past week, and they devoured those things. It was adorable. We had like sticky green stuff everywhere. And I don't know what it is about marshmallows, but every kid seems to love them. It's just like the favorite treat. And because marshmallows are so sugary and even a little creamy in texture, they tend to get stuck all over your teeth, right? Like I just said, they tend to leave this like sticky residue everywhere. I'm sure every mom is very aware of that. And so because they're leaving this sticky residue on your fingers and your countertops and everything, they're doing this in your palate too, right? So you have this kind of like sticky, marshmallowy flavor in your mouth. So you need something that's crisp and refreshing with the marshmallows to help cleanse your palate. That's why I love pairing marshmallows with champagne. So whether it's Peeps, toasted marshmallows, or my new favorite, Smashmallows, champagne's creamy and toasty notes are really perfect with marshmallows. A lot of champagnes are known for having these really nice buttery flavors, but they're still crisp and refreshing. So it's an awesome, awesome combo for marshmallows. The bubbles will help to cleanse your palate. So it's just all around a really, really great pairing. Now I get it. If you don't want to spend $50 on a bottle of champagne just to eat your kids' $2 Peeps on Halloween, I totally understand. And I would recommend Prosecco. It's also an awesome option. And Prosecco has really great flavors of, again, cream and some really crisp notes that'll be refreshing. So Prosecco is going to be a really great option as well. Now, let's move from one type of chewy candy to another. Let's talk about chewy fruit candies. And this could be gummy bears, Twizzlers, Swedish Fish, or even Starbursts. So similar to marshmallows, these candies are really chewy and they tend to get stuck in your teeth. I still love bubbly, and I found that kava is a delicious pairing, especially with gummy bears. Super, super yummy. Remember that kava is a sparkling wine from Spain, and the light, crisp, and refreshing characteristic of kava, as well as that little bit of citrus that often kava will have, really helps to bring out the fruit flavors in a lot of these candies. But if you're not into bubbles, or if you're looking for something different, I also think that rosés are a great option with fruity, chewy candies. Most rosés tend to have really light notes of like strawberries and raspberries, and so they'll complement a lot of those fruit flavors that you would find in like gummy bears and Twizzlers and Swedish Fish and things like that. In fact, if you want to have a little bit of fun, I'm sure many of you are familiar with this trick, but you can actually take a Twizzler and bite off either end of it and treat it like a straw. So hey, have a little bit of fun. It's Halloween. Drink your rosé through a Twizzler straw. Now, if the chewy candies are really sour or super spicy, so for example, like Sour Patch Kids, or like my mom loves hot tamales. They're not necessarily my favorite, but she loves cinnamon, loves hot tamales. So if you're having a candy like that that's chewy, but it has these really strong flavors, I like to balance them out with a sweeter wine, like an off-dry Riesling. And remember that off-dry is just a fancy wine term for sweet. So a sweeter wine is going to help balance out these really sour or really like spicy, hot kind of flavors. Now that said, if you were one of those kids like me who loved Warheads and really enjoy like super, super sour flavors, then I would just go all into that tart flavor by pairing Sour Patch Kids with Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blancs tend to be really zippy and citrusy and light. And so if you pair that with your Sour Patch Kids, you're just going to get this explosion of tart, sour flavors. And let me tell you, it's going to take you back to your youthful days, and you can just jump in and enjoy that. You know what? It's Halloween once a year, right? So treat yourself, go down memory lane, and have some fun. So we've chatted so far about, sugary candy corn, caramels, marshmallows, some chewy fruit candies, sour and spicy candies. So let's talk about some hard candies. Jolly Ranchers are delicious with Sauvignon Blanc. It's an awesome pairing. Jolly Ranchers tend to have that like really fruity flavor. And as you're sucking on the Jolly Rancher, it's going to get this like really sugary kind of consistent, almost like syrupy taste on your tongue. And so you need something that's zippy and crisp and refreshing, like a Sauvignon Blanc, that's going to help cleanse your palate and balance out that uber sugary Jolly Rancher. Tootsie Pops and Lollipops can kind of depend on the flavor, but usually fruity cherry flavors and even chocolate ones are going to go really well with Lambrusco. And Lambrusco is a fizzy red wine from Italy. It's going to be really nice and refreshing, and it's going to be light enough that it's not going to overpower those flavors of Tootsie Pops or Lollipops, but they're still going to be nice and fruity and flavorful to go really nicely with those. And then for lighter flavors, maybe like orange or a cream soda lollipop, I would pair those with Chablis, which is a Chardonnay from Burgundy. And it's very crisp. It doesn't have that oaky, buttery flavor of a lot of other Chardonnays because often Chablis wines are not aged in oak. And so it's going to have like nice fresh apple and lemon kind of flavors that'll be really perfect with those kind of lighter lollipops. And then last but not least today is my favorite category of Halloween candies, chocolates. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a little bit of a chocoholic, but today, instead of talking about the specific kinds of chocolates like I did in episode 16, I'm going to focus instead on specific candy bars. So again, if you want to learn about the differences between pairing milk, dark, and white chocolates, definitely check out my episode 16 in the show notes for the link to listen to that one. So as a kid, I was absolutely obsessed with Kit Kats. My grandpa used to give them to me and my siblings when we would come visit, and they're still a favorite today. I know there's a ton of different kinds of Kit Kats, but the classic will always have a special place in my heart. And that classic Kit Kat with milk chocolate and wafers, truly there's no better pairing than Gamay. Gamay is a light and fruity red wine from the south of France. And it truly has just enough berry flavors to complement the chocolate, but it's so nice and light that it's not going to overpower the wafer. You have to try it. It's an awesome, awesome combo. I'm also a huge Reese's Peanut Butter Cup fan. I basically love any chocolate and peanut butter combo, to be totally honest. And I've mentioned a few times on the show that peanut butter and Pinot Noir go really well together. It's basically like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So if you love peanut butter, this is an awesome combo to try. Lambrusco is actually a great option too. I mentioned Lambrusco a little bit earlier when we were talking about the lollipops and Tootsie Pops. Basically, because of the fizz in Lambrusco and those light fruity flavors, they're going to help cleanse your palate from that uber creamy peanut butter. And so that's going to be a great combination for Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Those also go really well with Butterfingers too. So you could do a Butterfinger with either a Pinot Noir or a Lambrusco with the crisp wafer and peanut butter and chocolate. It's just going to be a really, really awesome combo. Now, Three Musketeers has a light chocolate mousse and then is covered in chocolate. And so that candy bar goes really well with Pinot Noir or Gamay. Again, light fruity is going to go really well with these lighter chocolates. It's not going to overpower them too much. Same thing with Twix. Twix has this light cookie that's in the middle and then is covered in chocolate. And so I like that one with Pinot Noir and Gamay as well. Merlot is actually an awesome wine with a lot of different chocolate candies because it often has notes of cherry and chocolate in it. So I absolutely love pairing Merlot with a lot of different types of candy bars, Snickers, peanut M&Ms, actually like any kind of M&M, to be honest. It goes really well with like caramel M&Ms, coffee M&Ms, pretzel M&Ms, Milky Ways, and a lot of other chocolate bars. So like all of these different chocolates go well with Merlot. So it's a really versatile wine. I would say when in doubt, if you're looking for just doing a plethora of chocolate candy bars, Merlot is going to be a really safe bet because those chocolate and cherry flavors are going to go really nicely with pretty much anything that's out there. Now, if you're going for something that's really, really dark chocolate, like you're getting a bar of Ghirardelli super, super dark bitter chocolate, I would pair that with Cabernet Sauvignon, Zinfandel, or even a port. Those different types of candy bars are going to go really well with wines that can definitely hold up to that strong bitter flavor. All right, friends, short and sweet, but I hope you enjoyed today's episode all about top Halloween candy and wine pairings. If you learned something new, don't forget to like and share this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow me along on Instagram and TikTok at The Wine CEO. And you can always send me an email if you have any questions about this episode or another, sarah@thewineceo.com. Be sure to share with your friends so that more folks can get access to fun and approachable wine content. Until next week, I hope you drink something new and delicious, and I will catch you all in the next episode of the Wine CEO podcast.